Okay, so in our previous class, we have spoke about how to create a class and how to create a method and how to run the program from the main method and how to run the program that is not how to run the piece of code that is not inside the main method. So we have created a specific method which will perform specific operations. So if you could remember, we have created one for addition, one for subtraction, and one for data types. Now let us try to do one thing. So with the knowledge up to date, whatever we have, let us try to write a simple logic where we are trying to calculate the average of ages of three persons, average of ages of three persons. How to calculate average? So which is that sum divided by count. So sum is nothing but the sum of all ages. So let me write it in full. So sum of all ages and the count of members. So that is simple stuff. If you want to calculate the average, I believe everyone knows this. Here I am telling you to the problem statement is you need to calculate the average. Let me write the word called exact average for below. So the problem statement is something like this. So there is a guy whose age whose age is 30. There is another guy whose age is 60. There is another guy whose age is again 30. So you need to calculate the average. The way you calculate the average is very simple. Average ages is average of these ages. So pretty simple. 30 plus 60 plus 30 whole divided by 3 because here there are 3 people. If there are 4 people, again add that age also and divide it by 4. So this is what you are told to calculate the average age of given 3 members. So let us do one thing. Instead of writing it here, let us try to create a new class. So I am clicking on the Java learning package. I'm just right clicking on that and creating a class. So uh, just giving it as average. So class name should start with capital letters. Calculator. Okay, so I'm creating. So let me write the select this checkbox. So what will happen is if you are writing this checkbox, system will automatically create a main method for you, or else again you need to go and create it again. So I have created a what is that a class. So this is a class. So inside this class, I do have my main method. So no, as I was telling, right, let us write all this stuff separately. So let me create a method with the name called average calculator or something. I just creating average of ages. Okay. So what I'm doing is instead of writing the signature again, just write that system will tell you, hey, you are trying to call a method that is not present in this class. Just hover over that and you tell them that, hey, go and create one method for me. So it will create it for you. So I'm just saving some time here. So instead of writing all this thing, I'm just writing it here. So make it as public. That doesn't matter even if it is private. We'll discuss about these keywords. As I was telling, right, let us try to only focus on the things what we're trying to learn. If you mix up all the things, you'll end up like miserably. So int x is equals to 30. That's what the statement was, right? Int y is equals to 60 and int z is equals to 30. Okay, so now let me add all these three. Int sum is equals to x plus y plus z. Now I need the average, right? Int avg is equals to sum divided by 3. That's it. So let me print the average. So I'm just trying to print the average. So system.out.println. I'm adding all this and I am dividing by 3. If there are 4 people, I will add the fourth age also and divide by 4. If there are 5, I will refer 5. Let me run this piece of code and let me check it out. So the average is 40. Let me check in calculator as well. Okay. Okay. Mm. So 30 plus 60 plus 30 is nothing but 120. So I'm not doing that. 120 divided by 3. Yes, I am getting the correct answer, 40. Now, let me do a minor change here. So assume that there is someone with age of 35 here. Okay. Now let me run this program. I can see the answer as 41. Let us try to calculate it here. So 30 plus 60 is 90. I know that. 90 plus 35. Let me do it for you. It is 125. So now the sum is coming 125 divided by 3, right? Okay. See, there is the difference. If you could see on the calculator, it is showing it as 41.66. At least if I can get up to at least this thing, I'm fine. At least there is some perfection on my side. If I want to get these kind of answers, like if I want to get, so what I'm trying to tell here is the output what you got is not matching with the output what you are seeing on the calculator if it is a decimal value. Now, yesterday we were discussing about data types, right? Now let us do one thing. So now you understood that whatever output you are getting in the average, it is not an integer, but it should be a decimal value. So now let us try to understand how to tell Java that you are getting a decimal value and please store it as a decimal. So for that, what we can do is let me just open my Google Chrome or whatever it is. Okay, let me just open for what is that, data types in Java. Okay, so if you could see, if you want to store, or else let me do one thing instead of writing like this, right? How to store decimal value in Java. That makes sense, right? So what it is telling in Java, decimal values are handled by double and float, double and float. So if you want to store that value as a decimal point, you can declare it as float. So I understood that, okay, if it is a decimal value, I can use float, and but the catch here is next to that I should use small f. Okay, small f. Let me do that. Simple, right? So I understood that there is one word with a thing called float, and here I should give f. That's it, right? Let me run this program and let us check it out. Superb. Now I am able to print that value as a decimal. Okay, so why instead of directly talking about different data types, I have come up with an example is you guys will understand what are the challenges we are facing and how to overcome the challenge. Now is the time to understand what are the different data types and how to use the data types. So data types in Java and their ranges also, or whatever it is. Let me type that. Oh, superb. So here it is. So there are actually two types of data types. One is now is the time I'll talk about. So in Java, there are two types of data types. One is primitive and the other one is non-primitive. Okay, I'll just talk about primitive data types for time being. In the next session, we'll talk about non-primitive data types. So in the primitive data types, as you can see, we are having short. If your requirement is you want to store a number anywhere between -120 to 127, you can declare it as byte. So what you can do is you can declare it as byte. Byte number is equals to, like, just me write it like this only. Byte number is equals to 121. It will take because it is within the range. If I'm giving it as 128, it will throw me an error because this byte keyword can store only values within a range of -128 to 127. Okay, So I'm just making it as 127 or 122. It will not throw any error, but once you give 128, it will throw an error. Okay, cool. Similarly, if your requirement is you want to store some numbers where anywhere between 30 to 768 to 32,070, you can go for short. You can go for short. Okay, I am just giving it as 30,000. Okay, not an issue. Now, if your requirement is to store a number, let me open this. Okay, cool. So this is between this number, but most of the times int will suffice your requirement. Then you should get it out. Hey Zakir, then why we have different types, byte, short. If you want to if you want to make your program faster and you know that you will always be using the numbers between 128 to 127, you can go for byte. The real challenge is when you're writing an exact code, when you become when you move ahead with this coding stuff, right, you'll understand which one to use. But most of the times, at least for us, I think int should suffice because it is having a very good range of 2 power 31. That is nothing but a very big number. Let me check that. Int range in Java. So it is okay. This is the range of the int. So it is easily uh, makes our work. I think all the numbers, whatever you are using as part of your coding stuff, will be limited within this range. So in your code, if you could see, most of the times I'll be declaring it as string. If you want a decimal value, you can declare it as float. But just do one thing, just try to add all the values. How to declare a float? Just give it as f. How to declare a double? So double. So double is more precision. So if you want to up to, I think. Up to 6 digits we are getting, right, a float. If you are using it as double, it will give more exact precision. Even it will include the other numbers as well. That's what I'm trying to tell. If you want more precise answer, go for double. In our case, float is enough for me. That is more than enough. So these are the different types. So boolean is one very interesting thing. So it will store only two values. Either it can be a true or it can be a false. So boolean, I'm just giving it as a name, just b is equals to true, or I'm just creating another variable, c is equals to false. It will accept only two values. You can store this boolean type can store either only true or false. If you are giving other than that, it will throw any error. Anything other than that, even if you give number also, it will throw an error. It is accepting only true or false. So in our upcoming videos, we will be using this boolean as well, but for now it's okay. So once you talk about if statement, we'll be making use of the boolean. So what you guys can do is just add all these different numbers. So one is your int, declare a int and print it, declare a float and print it. So what I'm trying to tell is, so declare a float number is equals to like 5 value, you know, right, 3.14 something. So 3.14 f. Okay, see, so I'm just printing it as 5. So let me print this boolean as well. See, so b. Now let me print a byte number as well. So I'm just trying to make you familiar with the keywords. Okay, but mark my words, most of the times we will be using int only, but I want you to understand that there are other things other than int. Okay, so let me delete this and let me print this. So I have declared byte. Now I have declared a short number. Okay, let me run this. Okay, you have printed a byte number which you have declared it as byte. You have printed a short number that you have declared it as short. You have printed a boolean value that you have declared it as false. You have printed a float that is nothing but 3.14. So you are printing it as 3.14. Okay, so that is the beauty of Java. So there are different keywords. It's just that you need to make to the best use of it. Okay, so I can directly tell what is float. Float is used to store decimal point. The reason why I came up with an example is, once you are solving any program or any logic, right, if you come across any issues, this is how you can make a crack through. So in the next session we'll talk about non-primitive data types. Thank you so much, guys.